I am continuing in my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a little bit as I move along. So, in our last reading, we read about the treason of Zimri. He killed Baasha's son Elah, tried to take over the kingdom, but the captain of the host, Omri, came back to the capital of Tirzah, and when Zimri saw he was about to be taken, he burnt the house down, killing himself and destroying the palace of the king. Now we pick the story up here. This is again in 1 Kings chapter 16. We will be reading verses 21 through 28. Then were the people of Israel divided into two parts. Half the people followed Tibni, the son of Ginath, to make him king, and half followed Omri. But the people that followed Omri prevailed against the people that followed Tibni, the son of Ginath. So Tibni died, and Omri reigned. In the 31st year of Asa, king of Judah, began Omri to reign over Israel 12 years. 6 years reigned he in Tirzah. Now, we're going to pause that right there. In the 31st year, he began to reign. Now, it was in the 27th year of Asa that Zimri committed his treason. So this is 4 years of civil war where Israel had no king. The northern kingdom had no king for 4 years because the people were divided. Now, we don't know anything about this Tibni, or Tibni, however you pronounce it. This is the only mention we have of these two verses in 1 Kings. I don't think he's mentioned ever again in anywhere in the scriptures. We just know that after Elah was killed and the treason of Zimri was put down, he rose up to try and claim the throne, to contend with Omri for it. But Omri eventually, and I think Omri probably won because he had the loyalty. He was the captain of the host. He had the loyalty of the army. So while other people may have risen up in rebellion, they were more of a militia or just peasant rabble who wanted Tibni to reign, but they were no match for the military that Omri could command. Verse 24, And he bought the hill Samaria of Shemer for 2 talents of silver, and built on the hill, and called the name of the city which he built after the name of Shemer, owner of the hill, Samaria. So this is where we get the changing of the capital city of the northern kingdom. It started off, I believe, in Bethel, where Jeroboam placed one of the golden calves. That was eventually conquered by Judah, and it moved to Tirzah. And now Omri is building a new city, Samaria, which is built to be a capital city. It's not just where the kingdom, it wasn't a default capital like the first ones were. This is built for the purpose of being a capital city. Verse 25, But Omri wrought evil in the eyes of the Lord, and did worse than all that were before him. For he walked in all the way of Jeroboam the son of Nebat, and in his sin wherewith he made Israel to sin, to provoke the Lord God of Israel to anger with their vanities. Now the rest of the acts of Omri which he did, and his might that he shewed, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? So Omri slept with his fathers, and was buried in Samaria, and Ahab his son reigned in his stead. Now, Omri is mentioned occasionally in later passages, just for blood relations. His descendants are mentioned occasionally. He was able to secure his reign for 12 years, but it says he was worse than everybody before him, worse than even Jeroboam. And it's sad that his son will actually even be worse than him. But none of these guys are really learning their lesson. All of them are following after Jeroboam in maintaining those golden calves and a completely false worship. I mean, just made up. Anyways, we will leave that here, and we will read, I believe, a little bit about his son Ahab next. We continue in chapter 16, so we will see you then.